puppet on the lonely string. Oh, who would ever wanna be king? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter will call my name. Never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world. Hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Oh, be my mirror, my sword and shield, the missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter will call my name. Never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world.
He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him. You might say he was born again. You might say he found a key for every door. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away, on the road and hanging by a song. But the string's already broken and he doesn't really care. It keeps changing fast, it don't last for long. But the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. The shadow from the starlight is softer than a lullaby. Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. He climbed Cathedral Mountains, he saw silver clouds below. He saw everything as far as you can see. And they say that he got crazy once, and he tried to touch the sun, and he lost a friend but kept the memory. Now he walks in quiet solitude, the forest and the streams, seeking grace in every step he takes. His sight is turned inside himself to try and understand the serenity of a clear blue mountain lake. And the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Talk to God and listen to the casual reply. Rocky Mountain High, High Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, High Colorado. Now his life is full of wonder, but his heart still knows some fear of a simple thing he cannot comprehend. Why they try to tear the mountains down to bring in a couple more people, more scars upon the land. And the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Though he'd be a poor man if he never saw an eagle fly. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Friends around the campfire, everybody's high. Rocky Mountain High, High Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. 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 Rocky Mountain
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar stain. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. I wear this crown of spit upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot forget. Beneath the stains of time, the feelings disappear. You are someone else, I am still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. Waters of chaos have invaded our space. The flood of earth again. I have to find the whales that once did guide us to the dry lands of life. I won't despair, I'll break this dark ground under heavy sea. I'll search the flight of whales searched and had a different view of us on Earth, the sinking ship of men. But it's beyond the stars. I found the place where they were, and they finally came to light. Over the winds, they dwell in light, like the arrow in the sky. I found myself on higher grounds from up here, for I see them all the ways in flight. Now I can see the whales.
This is Xbox Era. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything Xbox Era does is only made possible by our community and the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our executive producers and MVPs are an amazingly generous bunch, only shown up by the incredible support of our grand benefactors, Cryat56 and Assassin Entertainment. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely Xbox Era CEO, Torn Raptor. This community is the best one on the internet, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Just head to patreon.com/Xbox Era and pledge your support. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Xbox Era Headlines. The day is May 22nd, 2025. And today, Jesse and I will talk you through all of the latest in gaming news from across the industry. And there's a lot. There is a lot.
There's so much I had to get rid of a lot of it.
I'm sad that Jesse forgot my piano. Forgot my chilled piano at the intro of the show.
There you go.
Now, see, now it doesn't
I
even
guess
feel
I
better.
everything. No.
You know. As a bonus for our wonderful patrons, we make audio versions of these episodes available for them to listen to in their preferred podcast app. But if you're on Spotify, you can link your account on Patreon and listen to it there instead. If you would like to become one of those awesome people, head over to patreon.com/Xbox Era, where you can support us directly for very little. Because, you know, support independent video game publications.
I was sad when I saw VGC was like, we've gained over 100 after all the Polygon and John Bomb stuff was. And I was like, we've gained like 2. We love those 2. Thank you very much. But it'd be cool if we could gain 100.
I'd love 100. Be nice. Good for them, though. There's a lot to talk about this week. There's so much news. Like, it got a little bit silly, frankly, yesterday, didn't it? There was just news galore. Everywhere.
I woke up to 30 emails today. It was mostly smaller indie stuff and a lot of, we're launching an early access on Steam for half of it, but still, news is always popping off. Do you just want the music all the time? Like this?
No.
Like low?
No. I mean, that's overdoing it.
I don't know. Like the Kayasante podcast, they always have music playing in the background.
A little bit of piano. I mean,
it's
I
like
love
super quiet.
I love the piano. It makes me feel relaxed, like I'm in some sort of smoky jazz club somewhere. Hello to everybody in the chat. Lovely to see you all. We're here for your hour-long, no-nonsense news delivery vehicle that is Xbox Era Headlines.
There's some nonsense.
Is there some nonsense?
Mm-hmm.
Nick's not here.
Why, thank you. American Fury joining the Xbox Era YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
What a legend. He's angry. He's American. It's understandable. Welcome. Good old Collingwood in the chat says you could just concentrate on all the Xbox news and you'd fill the hour. It
Yes.
is, look, and I know we're Xbox era. It is a heavily slanted Xbox show.
It's almost
because-
like they never stopped putting out news press releases yesterday or something.
Yeah, they just kept doing it.
Right as you started going on the road and like, oh, I'm gonna go to the missus for her birthday. Oh, press
More
release. Oh,
news.
press release. Oh, press release.
Yeah,
Don't worry, John, I got it.
I know. I mean, I got the ones earlier, like most of them. There is a lot. There is a lot to do. But let's dive into the headline story of the week, which is Circana's April report of all of the sales numbers in the US, because there's a lot to unpack within this information.
I know. There was like 7 articles worth of stuff in there if you really wanted to mine it.
Grind it for clicks,
Yeah.
which we don't because that's not our way. But the lovely Matt Piscatella, one of the folks at Circana, released all of the goss, all of the news, all of the stats. And there's some takeaways here. I think the biggest one is, and I think this is the discussion around Microsoft's strategy nowadays, which lots of people still not vibing with. But 5 of the top 7 best-selling games were all Microsoft games because of their multi-platform release strategy. So we have Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered at number 1. Forza Horizon 5, a very old game to Xbox fans now at this point, swept its way up from number 42 the month before to number 2. We have Indiana Jones and the Great Circle at number 4, Black Ops 6 at number 5, and Minecraft at number 7. Like, that's a lot of Xbox wiggling its way into the sales data there.
Obviously, it won't happen every month because they launched a lot of stuff and the Minecraft movie came out, so everything was shooting up. But still, the fact that it can happen is wild. If you had told us a few years ago that hey, this initiative where they're saying it's just these 4 games to start, and if they're successful, and well, then they were, and so
things I think Phil Spencer regrets saying out loud.
Well, because what he says is technically correct legalese, which is if they're successful, this is an experiment, and if it's successful, and it was, he just hasn't come out and said they were very successful, so we're going to do a lot more, because that you wouldn't do that normally.
Yeah, there wasn't like a follow-on update of like, hey, this made loads of money for us, so we're going to do that a lot more now. Yeah,
so you've got the one soundbite, which is, hey, this is don't expect everything. This is just an experiment to see how it goes. And then the internal meeting had to leak. That's like, holy shit, these have sold like crazy. And we didn't really lose anyone. Fire everything. Like,
yeah,
you know that happened, but you don't have the sound clips going against each other, and you never will.
No,
we'll get to a bash video. I've added it.
Yeah,
thank you.
I still have questions around their new direction, as I'm sure anyone that is
I'm sure as they do
an Xbox centric person or player has, and it's simply like, what's the end result on this? Because if we were seeing that, oh great, all of these games you're selling. And I granted this month, this data shows an actual hardware bump for Xbox. And no, it's not because people were rush buying before the price increase, because the price increase was immediate, right? It was just like, it costs this much now. But that's not been the norm. So, unless that starts to play out in the data, and it's like, okay, well, so they are selling more games everywhere, and their hardware is going back up now, even though it's more expensive, which I doubt is going to happen. The question still remains.
Circana is a dollars-based thing, so it could. You never know.
Yeah, I suppose it could. But in terms of like what the next 2-3 years look like, because we don't there's lots of bits about Microsoft plans. Like we've heard lots of little bits, and we'll dive into some of them in this show. But because we've only heard little tiny pieces and elements of the supposed plan, we haven't got a full picture, a full view to make the case for good or oh no, what are you doing? So it feels like it's just because we have those unanswered questions, it feels a little wonky to kind of theorize too much about it, because you're theorizing on half the data. Yeah,
and honestly, it can be far less than half. Like we don't know what they know, and even they don't always know everything because of all the companies they work with on selling hardware and where shit's going, why they do what happens, and they'll never be able to say because of all the NDAs and different deals that are signed. Like it's really hard to even people in the industry. There's like, well, I've got this report from this one, like Dringhead stuff from Ampere on what the split for Doom was. It's like, is it accurate? It might be. Ampere is normally pretty good, but there's no guarantee. It's almost always feels like guesswork without fully being guesswork. It's like an informed guess is better than an uninformed guess, but how much? It's hard.
It's the drawing conclusions from incomplete data that is like the head scratcher from me. But hey, I guess it makes for some good op-eds every now and then and some good debate.
It's an industry that needs good op-eds to carry stuff sometimes.
Yeah. But yes, outside of that, particularly with Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, it sold, this is per Matt Piscatella, it was the best-selling game of the month. It instantly became the third best-selling game of 2025. And it was the best-selling title across PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
That's not the norm for anything, yeah.
No, and even more interesting is it sold more units in April of 2025 than the entire original game did in its first 15 months on sale. And that doesn't even account for Game Pass players that just go straight in for no money whatsoever.
It's crazy how much bigger gaming is than it used to be. And we don't realize it. Like, it's so many more people playing.
Yeah. Forza Horizon 5 was the second best-selling game of April. As I said, it was 42nd in March. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle launched on PlayStation 5 in April, and it jumped from 118th on the monthly best-selling chart to the 6th place. So it really does bear out that Microsoft releasing their first-party titles on their competitors' platforms is releasing games where the players are. Because at this point, and you know, this is the argument, right? PlayStation is the default console. If you're going to buy a console, you buy a PlayStation. We may as well release our games there. Why make an Xbox? Because the ecosystem is better and the feature set is better. Like, that's the argument, maybe.
Yeah, and it's the main
fact.
Game Pass. It's the only place you can get the full Game Pass. You get a good version of Game Pass on PC. You get an okay one on the cloud if you're okay with cloud gaming, but the actual full, this is Game Pass experience is just on console.
Is that the differentiator for 2 years from now, whenever the next generation of whatever releases? I don't know. I don't know the answers. But it's a strong month for Xbox. So good for them and all of the money. Bad for our wallets, I suppose. But yeah.
It does feel like an inevitable that Game Pass will go up again. If they start doing $80 games the moment they are, then Game Pass will go up.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to go up. If it were me and I was in charge of what Microsoft do and I had to make that call, I would put the show on in 2 weeks' time and go, look at all this amazing stuff, and then follow it with a Game Pass price.
You mean kind of be like yesterday where they had all these big, awesome Game Pass things and then dropped a little bit of news that might have caused a kerfuffle in the past?
Yes. And don't worry, folks, drop in super chats. I'll get to them. But I'm only going to read out the ones that are relevant to the topic at the time. So fret not, Jay Foley. I will read out Mohammed Trez's one, though, because he says, I can't wait for articles where people say the Oblivion remaster plays better than Elder Scrolls 6 on CE2. Those journalist grifters, I can see it 5 years out. Mate, we'll grift about anything. Anything that will get us a click, right? Like, I have to admit, when all of the Ampere news data came out and I wrote my completely normal, non-inflammatory article, I thought, how should I tweet this information? And I just started with, is my PS5 and Xbox? And boom. The only people that have actually replied are the saddest of individuals that really get triggered by reading that sort of thing.
And it's worth blocking because
they don't click on the article. Yeah, they just read the headline and go, Brr! So, yeah. Just having some fun, all right? I get my kicks where I can. The other news, as Jesse kind of mentioned there, is they followed up with Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Senua's sequel is coming to PlayStation 5 in the summer with PS5 Pro enhancements. Cool. But we're also all current owners of the game getting an enhanced edition
on Xbox consoles and PC anyway. So I presume it's going to take advantage of some improvements.
They talked about
the case may be.
optimization, which makes me hope that maybe at least a 40 FPS mode, if not something else. Because they talked about optimization.
I mean, honestly, playing it at 90 FPS on PC with everything turned on to max is nice.
Yeah, so it's
very
Senua's
nice
Saga Hellblade 2 Enhanced was the title card they gave along, like no date, no what the enhancements are, but that is what they gave for this one. So we'll see.
And it's coming this year.
Yep, this summer.
This month.
No, they just said
I
summer.
thought it was this May.
No, they just said summer.
Did they?
Yeah, they didn't give a date. They didn't give any idea what the enhancements are. They just said coming later this summer. Oi, on British. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, coming this summer.
Cool. Yeah, so that's cool. I will happily play through that again because I love
On
that
your
game.
powerful PC, you mean, because you don't own a PlayStation, because you're a fanboy and poor.
No, I
Like me.
play on my big 86-inch TV on
Yeah.
my Xbox Series X.
Hmm.
It is good there with the headphones and
Yeah.
everything else. Yeah. But that wasn't all. That wasn't all the
No,
Xbox
there was
news.
so much.
And like before we move on to all the Xbox things that drops, there are lots of people going, "Oh, look at what I knew." Like, for the record, there is so much that has been kind of known about all of the possible games that might be coming.
And that was the most obvious, as it started life in a series as a PlayStation timed exclusive.
Like, yeah, sort of people running around like insidering. I don't know. But yeah, they also dropped a rather sizable and pretty lovely looking Game Pass drop.
After many lighter drops, count wise, in the very late part of last year into the early part of this year, they've been going off on the Game Pass stuff. It's impossible to keep up with. There are things coming out we're gonna struggle to cover. You are doing To a T. I should be doing Spray Paint Simulator, which are a couple of the day ones in this. But the big thing, of course, was Metaphor Refantazio, last year's Game of the Year nominee and winner for multiple things at the Game Awards. Really, really good game from Atlas that took an incredibly long time to make, despite looking like it could still run on a PS2 and is just being emulated to a higher res. Super cool game, really good. Was play anywhere right from the start, as Atlas tends to be, which is why a lot of people are thinking that Persona 4 Reload will probably be announced and out on Game Pass in next week, because they have a website that keeps getting updated. We'll see. But yeah, Atlas and Sega definitely seem all in on the Xbox ecosystem and how it works. So
yeah, but there's like the full list, like Metaphor and Fantasio.
It's got one of my favorite games ever on it.
The Division 2 is coming to Game Pass. Thank you, Ubisoft. I'm actually like delighted because now I'm just going to install that.
It's
on PC
coming
as well, so
the day. It's funny. I deleted my tweets about that thing, and now I'm like, oh, what's your shipping info again? And it's like, yeah. Now you'll send me that stupid thing, won't you? It is. Oh Christ! What the hell were we talking about? Oh, the Division 2 is hitting literally the day the expansion comes out. It's really smart.
Yeah.
Which I'll be streaming the ever-loving shit out of next week, because there's no early access on expansions like that on console. It's really hard. You have to whitelist every console to give it access, and just a lot of work people don't want to do.
Yeah. We've also got the fantastic Tales of Kinzara Zao from the lovely folks at Surgeon Studios, which is Absy Babsy's beautiful. We've got to get him on the show again.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. I really liked him.
Such good fun. But yeah,
he's probably
Zal's
busy
coming
now. He keeps showing himself covered in blood while wearing a bunch of armor and riding horses.
He's House of the Dragon season 3, and he's Alan or Alin. But yeah, Zal's coming to Game Pass, which is a very neat Metroidvania that you should probably play if you're a fan of that genre. As Jesse mentioned, To a T is coming as well. That is from the creator of Katamari Damacy. I'm reviewing that at the moment. In fact, I'm midway through writing my review, so I've already wrapped that one, but embargo's a little closer to launch. Monster Train 2, which Jesse dropped a review for yesterday.
One of the best reviewed games of the year. I'm actually low on it. I gave it an 8.6 because I was thinking of higher. It was
Well,
like
I think
it's
people
really
slept on Monster Train 1, though.
They
didn't
did.
They?
Our
Yeah.
Monster Train 1 review never cracked 1,000 views. This one's only at like 500. But being in Game Pass will definitely help. So yeah, no, it's literally everything Monster Train 1 was, but better in like every way. It looks better, better balance. The music's amazing. The whole ramp up and progression system's better. Highly recommend. Obviously, it's play anywhere. So yeah, Monster Train 2 is fantastic. I've already put that into the showrunner, John.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying I want to do it next.
But then just copy it from below.
I only just read that.
Yeah.
You just did a nick.
Hmm?
You did a nick. Nick does the interrupt the flow.
Yeah.
And verbally stop everything.
I'm annoyed that
to
I
correct me
already
live.
took, because I already said while we were going that I've added in the controller thing because people keep talking about it in chat. Because
Well,
they're
I feel
excited.
bad for Joe Foley because I want to read
We
this.
can get to it next. That's fine.
Okay.
I just since the next thing was also about Game Pass, I was going to have it after that, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, but we're just gonna.
Yes, Metaphor was play anywhere at launch. Bash video editor. They Atlas is all about it, and Sega generally is, unless it's Sonic.
Weirdly,
Well, Sonic Team controls their things, and we don't make their review lists normally.
wow.
Yeah,
Sorry, Sonic Team.
I know.
We didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Never had a chance.
Yeah,
I would have happily given their last few games a low score because they weren't very good. Team Sonic Racing, a terrible follow-up to Sonic and Racing All-Stars Transformed, but didn't get a code early.
So we couldn't make that official adjudication. Yeah, next up, we've got a super chat from Jay Foley on this one who says, Xbox just showed some new Witcher controllers. Rest in peace, my wallet. Indeed. Out of nowhere, Xbox again.
It's the 10th anniversary. So that's the reasoning for it. And I can tell it's the 10th anniversary because I keep having screenshots from the game pop up in my OneDrive moments thing this month.
Wow.
They're very nice looking.
I've tried to play it several times. It's just not my jam.
Hey, you don't like good games.
That's right. I only like bad games.
Oh god, that was a very loud video. Jesus, that's loud. Yeah. They're forged in fire with the wolf sigil and mostly black and silver, a little bit of red in them. But yeah, Witcher 3 is awesome. Its gameplay is good, not great for the combat and stuff. Thankfully, the movement is infinitely better than it was at launch. Few games I've ever played have been that bad movement-wise at launch, and I'm very thankful that they went back, fixed it up, gave it a whole new movement system. It looks and runs great on current consoles. Obviously, it looks and runs great on PC, and you can mod the shit out of it there probably. It's normally pretty cheap on sale.
It's a very nice looking controller.
Yeah.
I've got to say that. Like, it's a pretty sexy controller.
Mm-hmm. And it's an Elite.
That's a nice.
Yeah. Like you can get the Elite or the regular. You know they won't send them to us. Also, they've got this. This is a... they turned this into a dynamic background right here.
Wow.
And those both went up yesterday. So Metaphor Refantazio, as Phil says, and The Witcher 3 10th anniversary dynamic backgrounds went live yesterday.
Lovely. The gift that keeps on giving, perhaps. So yeah, go celebrate 10 years of killing monsters with the special edition Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Xbox controllers. You can get an Elite variant or a standard variant. The choice is yours. Just, try not to spend all your money on these things. Elsewhere in Xbox news, they weren't done with just, a little Game Pass drop.
I know. An hour later, this one popped in.
This one's pretty cool. They're bringing in partnership with Antstream Arcade, which, if you haven't tried it, is kind of like a cloud-based streaming service for retro games.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously they're a lot easier, less to send across the cloud. And in a collaboration with Antstream, they are bringing 50 Activision classics to Xbox Game Pass members. So Xbox Game Pass members can download Antstream Arcade and get access to all sorts of really old school arcade,
incredibly old school.
Yeah. I did see Mech Warrior 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Mech Warrior is on there. They've got Amiga, they've got PlayStation, they've got Super Nintendo, they've got a lot of stuff. There's tournaments, there's achievements, there's the ability to save and come back later. It's pretty cool.
On there.
Yeah, so it's 50 plus Activision titles, and over time, there you can expect each month there might be a couple of old Activision Blizzard things added into this. This is only for Game Pass members. You can't buy this Retro Classics collection because it's all just a part of Stream Arcade, which you can actually get a full year subscription right now for $10, but you get these Activision games just as part of any tier of Game Pass now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it is streamed.
Struggle a little bit.
Yeah, so that's 30, 40 million, however many people get access to it for their little streaming service. So it's been struggling. Just give it a little bit of time. I'm sure to even out.
Yeah. But that's another, like, that's a really good perk to add to Game
the
Pass.
only way they could use some of that licensing that they have with, they own Activision, they own Blizzard, they both have a ton of old ass games that just, it would not make any sense to port to modern platforms. But if you do this and it's just running on, a PC in the cloud, it's already there, just make a deal.
Have at it. The good news is Chengus has done the Wild Hunt news for us.
Yeah, I pinged the server.
He's a good boy. I like that boy.
You got to do a tweet.
All right. So tons and tons of really solid Xbox news. Now, elsewhere, we should probably have a look at some of the perhaps more rumor-based Xbox news. Our good friend Jez Corden of Windows Central wrote a lengthy kind of like, hey, what are Xbox up to?
And put it in the chat.
About next-gen consoles. You should go give it a read over on Windows Central. But one little nugget in there is that he is reporting that he's heard that Xbox is talking and negotiating with Steam in some fashion and others about their stores being on the next Xbox, which aligns to kind of what everybody has been talking about in terms of what that next platform is going to be.
I think it's like being super front facing just in there because like Epic's already there. I think GOG and Ubisoft are there where they are. It's just their Windows app in the Microsoft store. And there's already work on the back end, it seems, around having Steam in there. There's a Steam beta app for being just built into the Windows store. So if the next Xbox is a Windows-based PC that uses back compat, like emulation to run Series through Xbox, like 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series, all that stuff, and just has a Windows store in it, that is how you just get PC games there. Because even if they only had Epic and GOG, they'd still have most of PlayStation's games, despite what people think. Like, it's not only Steam. They put their games everywhere because that's the only way it kind of works on PC, especially when you don't have your own storefront. Yeah, like getting the Rockstar launcher and stuff like that I don't see any reason why a company wouldn't want that because they don't take a cut from the Microsoft PC store. In regular games, they only take a 12% cut.
I've seen lots of people talking, like we've just seen, and correct me if I'm wrong now, but on the Windows Store, they've now announced that there's 0 fees for developers to develop apps for the Windows Store.
Used to be, God, I forget what it was, like $20.
So, and again, this is pure kind of conjecture on my part, but I know that someone, I can't remember which pundit, kind of outwardly spoke before Jess's article appeared, interestingly, saying like lots of people talking about Microsoft doing this with Steam, but like what's the benefit? Like why would you push people to a store that you don't own where you don't get your revenue directly and you have to give 30% of it to someone else? And here is the thought process. What if as part of these negotiations they're negotiating a different cut for that store being allowed to be on that machine?
Could be 0%.
I don't know, but what if that is the deal?
I think the deal is just to get it on there at all, built in, and not something you would have to go out and get.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure that I'm being clear. Like instead of giving up 30% cut to that store, the negotiation is your store is now on a different type of device beyond, PCs and Steam Decks. It's now on this. And we're planning to sell lots of these, and that's millions more customers for you, and they can choose where to buy their games. And as part of that agreement, the cut is X% less, or negligible, or nothing, or whatever. Because I understand the question, like, why would you put all of these applications and storefronts on your store if it means that you get less? And you can take the broader big picture argument and say, well, you're building an ecosystem, and it doesn't really matter at that point because you're always getting money, just maybe not as much. But your people are locked into that ecosystem because of the benefits to them as consumers of choice, of where to go and build their libraries.
NC has it's a long-term play where they want everything to have to be open so they can then have the Xbox store everywhere. Like their long-term play, why this would be worth it to them is to get Xbox onto PlayStation's and Nintendo's platforms.
That would be very interesting.
Like, because as we've seen, Epic has strong-armed its way back in as judges across the planet get angrier and angrier at Apple and Google especially. Microsoft was in the briefs saying, yeah, well, the only reason we don't have our mobile store yet is because it's just Apple won't let us. They keep seeming, they were pissed. The main thing is the thing people always worried about with Microsoft was being so big that they could just be everywhere and take over everything. And I've seen some people talk about it, like on Kind of Funny. They were talking about how, well, what if Microsoft becomes so big and so important and then they collapse and they're gone and they take the whole industry with it? And I'm like, that's not going to happen. If they're so big, if they collapse, it's because the entire industry collapses and they leave it. They wouldn't leave it otherwise. They're making too much money. But their whole plan is get everywhere with everything they have. Like that is what they want in the long run. I have no idea if it's going to happen. But also,
I mean, I just want the rest of these. I want the message like now direct from them. Like there is like, if their console is releasing, is it releasing financial year 2027? Like, does that mean end of 2026? Because the financial year of 2027 starts midway through, I think, for Microsoft. I don't know the answers to these questions. Like, and I just wish, and I'm sure Microsoft do as well to a degree. I wish that they could just talk a little bit about it and be a bit more like, hey, here's what we're doing.
We just got to get in behind some good closed doors at Summer Games Fest, and then we'll know everything, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll pull all the curtains back and reveal.
Just for us, no one else, because we have Xbox in the name.
Yeah.
They'll get fooled.
Yeah. Super chat from Jay Foley, who's asking about Black Myth Wukong. He says Black Myth Wukong Enhanced for Xbox is next, right? Joke, we're almost at the 1 year anniversary though. So yeah, maybe.
I'm really curious if they announce anything at the 1 year anniversary. Because if they do, the specific timings always lend credence to things more than random timings. Because like exactly 5 years after Death Stranding was out, you hear about it coming to Xbox. That day it's there. Bam, done. Like that type of stuff says that was the length of the contract. Maybe it's the exact same with 2. Who knows? He owns it now, so maybe it's not. But PlayStation's putting a ton of money into this, so I'm sure they have plenty of leverage on the length of the contract. I wouldn't expect it soon. Like with Wukong, we have absolutely no idea what was going on with it. Phil has said he knows when it's coming, which also then indicates that there's some sort of agreement or something. Potentially, you never know. You're reading into it, but we'll see.
Torn Raptor in the chat, Xbox Series CEO, respect. Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Says, I've just bought the standard Witcher 3 controller to go with my nice Doom one. Fair.
Speaking of Doom.
Well, I would speak of Doom, but there's one more thing. We'll speak of Doom in a second. CJAD93 asked specifically how my kittens are getting on. So I'm going to annoy Gizmo from his nap on the chair next to me. I'll show you. Come here. Oh, he's up in the corner.
He's so big.
He's got huge, and he's really derpy, and he's like a bit cross-eyed, although he was asleep. So I don't blame him for being irked at being awoken. Hello, boy. But yeah, they're doing fine now. They're all healthy, and they're complete idiots.
And they still don't get along with
Oh
Boots?
no, they just there's just a mutual hatred there. But last week they peed all over my Converse.
Wow.
Which was not fun. So they had to go in the washing machine, which made me sad. But there you go. Gizmo's fine. Before we dive into some Doom news, though, we're going to just hit you up with a little ad break because we're professionals and that's the kind of thing we do. Don't forget that everything Xbox Era does on YouTube is sponsored by Console Wars, the card game.
This is Console Wars, the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars, the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now.
Yeah, we're back. And before we talk about Doom, Fox91 in the chat who says, crisp packet shame follows me everywhere. This is like an inside joke that I don't think anyone will understand, but I'm going to take some time out of my busy day to explain it anyway.
Go for it.
A long, long time ago, my group of friends, we used to hold regular LAN parties, like once a quarter, right? And they would be big gatherings. And at one particular party, someone bought a big 24-pack of like crisps or chips, as you Americans would say. And as they were eating, each consecutive crisp packet was inserted inside the next crisp packet until it was kind of like this crisp packet triangle thing. And over the years, it's now been like 7 years, 8 years since that crisp packets thing. And anytime anyone comes around to each other's houses, whoever's got the crisp packet leaves it there. And then that person's got the crisp packet. And sadly, I have the shame of the crisp packet right now. I haven't found it. I've had a quick look, but I can't find it anywhere. But apparently it's in my house. And now I have the shame.
It'd be funny if you sold the house and moved without ever finding it.
There has been discussions that if one of us dies, that crisp packet's going in the grave with that person. So, yeah, I've got the shame.
In case you get hungry in heaven and, you know, you just need to, like, open it up and take a lick.
Just to smell, because I haven't got a body anymore to ingest food. Tell me where it is, Fox. Tell me where it is, you bastard. In other news, Doom, the Dark Ages, has done pretty well for itself, at least according to id. Well, now the debate rages on. People were initially concerned for Doom, the Dark Ages because it had the lowest CCU on Steam, that's concurrent users, of all of the new Dooms since Doom 2016, Doom Eternal. And yet, it shut the naysayers up with, hey, we've achieved 3 million players faster than Doom Eternal, 7 times faster, in fact, indicating that it seems to be doing quite well. Now the debate rages about what that split is. And as Jesse alluded to earlier, Chris String said some data from Ampere that I think suggests that 2 million players or something accessed it on Game Pass. Is that right? Am I getting that right?
Yep.
I mean, there's a part of me that's like, I don't care.
None of us should care.
2. It was great. Yeah. Like, what do we care? How many it's sold? It's
always comparative dick waving to have arguments online. Like the actual, why would I care as a customer? There is no reason. Like, the only thing you might be like, oh, I hope id gets to keep making games. Like, yeah, id's going to get to keep making games.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it doesn't matter.
It really does.
None of this ever matters.
Doom, and I really, really enjoyed it by the end. Like, I know when I spoke about it on the podcast, I was like 8 or so levels in. I was like, this feels like a really long tutorial. But by the time you've got everything and you've upgraded a bunch of stuff, you get into that Zen-like flow, and it's very, very good fun.
Yeah, it's a good first half and an amazing second half. Like, the first half is ramping you up to how good and crazy the second half gets. So,
yeah, it's good stuff. Like, if you haven't played Doom the Dark Ages yet, I would thoroughly recommend that you do. You can download the game as part of your Game Pass subscription and not accrue those sales numbers, those important sales numbers, you know, that everyone cares so much about.
I gotta say, as a producer, it is maddening when I go back and I listen and I'm way louder than everyone else. But it's because John and Nick always move around while they're talking. So no, stop yelling at me. It's not my fault. They both move a lot. I just stay right in my.
I don't
mic.
move too much nowadays. I try.
Yeah,
and
but
keep
I'm
pretty
looking at
still.
your. I'm looking at you in the mix, and you go from peaking to like barely in the yellow. But I'm very consistent, so I think it might be your mic settings as well. You need to set the floor higher. I don't know. We'll figure it out off stream. But Doom's great.
Doom is great.
Nope.
Only
God,
Doom.
yeah, peaking horribly now. Gotta lower you.
Okay. Next up, in some interesting news, it's not sad. It's positive, probably for Carrie Patel's
that bag.
bottom line. Has left Obsidian after shipping Avowed as the game director for that title, and has moved over to Night School, which is a Netflix game studio.
They do it Oxenfree.
Yes, go get that bag.
Yeah.
I say, Carrie Patel.
I've heard word that Netflix pays real well. So in their gaming stuff. Real curious what it ends up being. She spent like over a decade working on Aora
years.
in the world of Pillars. So did a hell of a job. I think Avowed, from what we heard, what Avowed was to what Avowed eventually became, did a hell of a job shifting it from that multiplayer focus to being just a really fun, incredibly well playing, openish world RPG, which with a story and choices that I quite enjoyed, even if some did not.
Yeah, I liked it. It's terrible because I got distracted. I'm on like the last world of Avowed. I still need to go back and finish it.
Probably second last, because there's one you don't know you're going to until you go to it. It's short.
That one's
short.
Okay, that's fine then.
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely need to take care of that because that's a good thing. But yes, congrats to Carrie, I guess.
It's sad. Like I really liked her work there, but it's just the way the industry is. People generally, 12 years is a long time at one place. You just look at a lot of people's job histories, and they're bouncing around all the time because it's one of the only real ways you can get a pay raise.
Yeah.
Joe Staten is still at Netflix as like I forget his exact title. He's a big wig at Netflix. Let me look it up. Joe Staten,
like a
LinkedIn
creative director.
Yeah, I think he's like the overall, because they were at that studio, but then they closed that studio and are focusing, I think, on the smaller. And he's creative director for Netflix Games, building a brand new AAA multi-platform game and original IP, according to his LinkedIn. He's been there since April 2023.
Good for him. Good for him. I'm interested in the chat. John, have you finished AC Shadows? No. Look, if it's an open world game and it requires like 20 plus hours of my time, unless I'm reviewing that game, I might end up never finishing it. I don't know.
You're too busy playing Blueprints for 314 hours.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, granted, that's not a good excuse, really, is it, when you look at the metrics of how many hours of Blueprints I've played? Look, what can I say? I like short or utterly engaging and enthralling experiences, typically.
The fart sniffier, the better.
Oh, yeah. I like to smell my own farts or someone else's. This is going to get clipped, isn't it? Next up in news.
We only get Console Warrior clipped.
Oh, okay. That's good then. Rebellion had a little bit of an interview with IGN on Atomfall.
Read the full headline, or was it the full tweet?
You'll have to give me the tweet. I haven't got the tweet.
Oh, yeah. So Atomfall was immediately profitable at launch despite countless players from Game Pass. That's just a weird way to frame it.
Frame that.
It's not like Game Pass is free. Generally, what we know is that you generally get money up front, especially for a bigger new game. And some games also get more money per player. Like, how did this person play it? How long? Those types of... We have no idea who gets what, how much is it, all that type of stuff. You'll never know. But, like, Microsoft doesn't force companies to put stuff in, especially when the developer and the publisher are one and the same, like with Rebellion. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just a weird way.
Like, it immediately becomes clear that Game Pass did a good thing for them in terms of getting the game out there. I don't know why the industry still has to try and frame it as such a negative.
That was, again, when kind of funny yesterday, and Tim was talking about it. He was like, I don't understand how it works, but I keep talking to people in the industry who say like I'm the asshole because it does. Like I don't know how it's sustainable. It's 30 to 40 million people a month paying for something. It's a ton of money coming in. That's why they can have a ton of money going out to keep paying for it. Like it's the word free gets thrown around. It's not in free. It's included with your subscription. Yeah. There's nothing free about it. Like Phil said it when we were on. It's like it's not free. You're still paying for it. It's a subscription. So
well, here's the thing. Like Rebellion boss Jason Kingsley, this is from the article, said that Atomfall's launch as part of Game Pass has successfully avoided the risk of cannibalizing sales. What you gain from that cost is disproportionate, Kingsley said, noting that however a game sells, Microsoft guarantees a certain level of income to mitigate the risk of giving it away as part of a subscription service. Like that's how they get games in there. They give you a big fucking chunk of money. Yeah. And you could probably do some napkin math and be like, yeah, you know, based on wish lists, based on consumer sentiment, based on the genre, we reckon it will sell this much. So we'll give you this much to mitigate the risk of it not selling that much because you're putting it in this subscription service.
That's one of the best things you can get. Oh, you
guaranteed income?
So we think it's going to sell this much and we might make this much, or you just hand us this much and we still sell plenty? Yeah. Like, sure. Like for the risk that is making a video game, to have that mitigated in such a strong way is a thing many developers are desperately trying to get right now because it's really, really hard to find funding. I know people have asked us, why don't you guys make a digital game? Like Jez brought it up. It's like, that would be expensive as shit, and where the hell would we get the money? Like there's no one's investing right now.
You've got to think about the broad ramifications of trying to do something like that. Like I mean this in no disparaging way to the incredible people that are watching this right now, or support us on Patreon or on YouTube, or even donate to our travel fund for doing things like Gamescom and Summer Games Fest. But if we can, maybe sometimes if we're super, super lucky and you guys are super, super generous, generate $4,000, how in the hell am I meant to find developers and pay them a living wage across multiple like kind of skill sets for multiple months? It's not tenable. As much as I would love it to be. Right now, Console Wars is going to be a lovely card game that you can
buy on Amazon right now. Go buy it if you're in the US or the EU, UK, North America.
Please.
Both covered. You even get a buy button now.
Yeah, we do. We have a nice buy button. And if you do pick up Console Wars or you backed it on Kickstarter, please do consider leaving.
We've been given our marching orders. Corn Raptor CEO, make a video game, darn it. Start learning, Jesse. Well, there we go.
Oh, okay, the CEO's ordered it. Okay, sorry, everyone.
I mean, as long as
news is on a hiatus.
As long as the CEO contribution on Patreon goes up to like, I don't know, 20 grand a month, then
a month.
We'll get right on it.
But yeah, seriously, if people have picked it up or backed it on Kickstarter or whatever the case may be, however you've acquired your copy of Console Wars, the card game, do please consider leaving a review. I know it's a pain in the butt crack to make an account on something like Board Game Geek, but the more people that review it there, and I'm not saying only positive reviews, tell me how you feel about it. I want to know, like, if there's negative feedback. I definitely think there's things we could improve in terms of how the instructions are laid out.
Yeah.
I think
like it was good constructive feedback would let us do new versions that, because we can, it's not like this is the product, it's stuck this way forever. If we needed to make some light changes, we could for future editions.
Because there's only a finite number in the world. And if we end up selling more, then I will place an order for more. And then that order for more would carry with it some improvements and changes as a second edition. So
you know what we need to do better about asking for? Not only likes on these videos, because it is one of the main ways that YouTube will actually push you to more new people, but if you listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything and could leave reviews there, the Trophy Room podcast is really good about pushing, please leave a review on Apple, and they've got like 1,000 reviews. I think we have 30. So yeah, if you listen to us on any podcast app and can leave good, positive reviews, not only would that, or good, however you honestly feel reviews, especially if it's positive, that would go a very long way to helping us maybe get a podcast network or something. That'd be cool. For ads.
We'd appreciate that.
You could listen to ads then.
Yeah, that would be great. But then we could do ad-free versions for patrons.
Yeah, which we're doing. I'm recording it right now, an ad-free version for our patrons. on Spotify.
I think they love listening to the console wars ad though. So
I didn't record it.
next up, Kingsley did say though, just to round this one off, with Game Pass, you can get people to try it, and then as a result of those people trying it and they like it, and then they tell their mates on social media, I found this game on Game Pass, I really enjoyed it, you should have a go. And then some of them are on Game Pass and they'll just play it, but some of them aren't on Game Pass, but will also want to be part of that conversation, so they'll go out and they'll buy it. Yeah. And it was the official figure as of February last year is 34 million users. So who knows what it is right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of millions of users,
I know.
the fantastic Helldivers 2 still averages 2.5 million players a week. There's a new update that's out now, which has the Helldivers crew defend Super Earth itself in the city streets, which looks fantastic. I mean, like, I've got nothing but positive things to say about Helldivers 2.
You know what somebody said about Helldivers? It is the illusion of loss. Like, there are so many objectives and side objectives and things during there are so many illusions of end failure points that you can try and fight back from. So it's like, this feels hard and I keep losing, but in the end I still won. And it's got that great ramp up of like, Jesus Christ, I feel overwhelmed and I keep dying. But I keep coming back, and I didn't get this objective done, but I got the main one done, and you feel that rush because you're always on the cusp of feeling like you're going to lose, and then able to pull it out.
Yeah, I still think it is a shame that Sony won't port the game to Xbox, because I think it would do incredibly well and make an incredible amount of money.
They don't seem to want to have games right now.
Sony believe in selling hardware.
They are moving away from it. It is not their growth metric anymore, and it hasn't been for over a year. Which is why it was also weird that people really finally latched onto it this time, but I guess it's because it was said directly in a press conference that they are monthly active user focused, because they're not growing their console base. They're maintaining their console base in a way that Microsoft isn't. So they want to, much like Microsoft has already shifted to, get more money out of the people that are using their stuff. Be more places. So be on Switch a little bit, be on PC a lot of bit, be on Xbox a little bit, because, you know, they'll have Marathon and the show. But yeah, they want more money out of their people.
I still think one of the first PlayStation games we'll see genuinely come across is going to be, and it's not really first party, but it's going to be the Horizon Lego game. I still think that's going to make its way over.
And your face in this Helldivers video is just like, you're just so intense into it.
Yeah, like I am locked in because it's terrifying, but I love Helldivers. It's great. I haven't played it in ages either, so I should probably like.
It's still mostly the same. It is nice to have the different level, but I don't think it's that different in the overall loop. It's just like if you got a friend group that wants to play it, it's always a good time.
Yeah. Elsewhere on the PlayStation train, I know I don't think it's in here, but Jade, was that last week? Jade Raymond?
Yeah, I think Ursula and I talked about it on Thursday, but Jade Raymond leaving Haven after a couple weeks after they had a supposedly not the most positive playtest for Fair Games, no longer with the $sign.
Oof. Elsewhere in PlayStation news, there's a new first-party studio. I think this is Dark Outlaw Games.
It's the one from the guy who was at from Call of Duty, who had another studio with the Deviation.
Yeah. Dark Outlaw Games, new LA-based first-party studio, is apparently, and this is via thegamepost.com, written by Abdullah Jawad, is apparently hiring artists who are experts with generative AI tools like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion for its debut AAA project.
They're experts at writing prompts.
Yes. There's a brand new job listing for a senior concept artist at Dark Outlaw Games, spotted by the Game Post, which includes a standout requirement. Applicants must have advanced expertise with generative AI tools like Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, and even ChatGPT. This isn't just a bonus skill. The studio is openly searching for artists who are comfortable creating, refining, and polishing both traditional and AI-generated artwork. The listing specifically mentions these tools by name, which seems to be one of the first times a PlayStation first-party studio has made such a direct push for a generative AI experience. great.
Yeah, for the on the concept art side, I can see it. I don't like it, but I would get, oh, we want to quickly iterate on stuff. And so if you can, instead of having to have someone draw it, we can just put in a prompt and we get an idea of what we want, and then we have someone draw it.
Yeah.
That would be as far as I would ever want. I wouldn't want it at all, but it's as far as I would want to go. You just know it's going to go further, and that stuff will end up in game.
Yeah, I mean, look, end of the day, this is the way of the world. Like, new technology comes along, people find their use cases for it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It'll even out. Like, the immediate desk flipping reaction from everyone. Like, I get it.
Mhm.
Also, like, chill the fuck out. Because if the end result is a pile of crap that no one wants to play, then guess what's going to happen?
And
No
funny
one's
thing,
gonna play it.
if you also have too much
Yeah.
AI in there, and then you don't own the way things look, because you can't own AI, because AI was built off of other people's IP to begin with. And also, like, you can then just look at a company like Klarna. They just fired everyone and put AI in and lost 50 billion, and are now trying to hire everyone in worse conditions. But like, it will even out as more and more companies who keep getting sold on the magic of AI and LLMs realize there's legitimate uses for them. You can't just ham fist firing everyone into those uses. It doesn't work all the time. In fact, it doesn't work most of the time. So,
But yeah. Next up in PlayStation centric news, if you are a fan of their loyalty program, PlayStation, is it PlayStation All Stars? PlayStation Stars?
I think it was PlayStation Stars.
Stars. It's closing as Sony evaluates new ways to evolve future loyalty program efforts. So qualifying points are redeemable for the PlayStation Stars program until November of 2026. But starting today, or whenever they posted this blog, which was yesterday, Sony will no longer be accepting new members for PlayStation Stars. If you choose to cancel your PlayStation Stars membership program, it will not be possible to rejoin this version, and you'll lose all your earned points. And current PlayStation Star members can still earn digital collectibles points and level up their status. What the hell does that mean? Until July 23rd, 2025. And after that date, there will be no new PlayStation Star campaigns or any additional rewards or status benefits to earn. It will fully end on November 2nd, 2026. And current PlayStation Star members can continue to redeem points as long as their points don't expire before then. I don't know what the new version of their loyalty program is going to look like, but it isn't this anymore. So
No. I see
that's
people
a
always be
thing.
like, make trophies worth money that caps at like $20 or something. Like, they're never going to do that. They would never incentivize in-game achievements to actually be real money. Wait, like the way taxes
easy
work,
to
and
gain.
you have to set it up every friggin' country it would be in for taxes and all that. It's insanely complicated. It's why every big like Xbox giveaway is North America only, because of just how crazy the taxes get when they're international. And all the rules and everything for every country are so different. Like, just hiring the lawyers to figure out every country, it immediately makes it not profitable.
Oh,
Companies care
Yeah.
about profits. I don't
That's
know
right.
anyone who cared about PlayStation Stars that much. They all wanted it to get better.
never used
And of course, the answer was it just is gone.
There you go. Next up, some fairly sizable news as Embracer Group.
Rope.
You all know who Embracer Group is. They caused a bit of a stir by buying everything and then running out of money and then closing loads of studios and selling
Well,
loads and all sorts.
It's not they
of
ran out.
nonsense.
It's that all the the rates on loans went up and stuff.
The
Interest
bubble
rates.
burst.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're making some big transformational changes, and they're not closing studios this time. Instead, they have spun off Coffee Stain into its own group of companies. It was previously known as Coffee Stain and Friends, and it will now become a standalone group of community-driven game developers and publishers by the end of 2025. And then, according to the press release, Embracer Group, and I think they did some stuff earlier on in the year where they kind of made another spin-off called Asmodee. But now Embracer Group are going to be renamed Fellowship Entertainment. If you're wondering what each of those groups are going to be contain, Coffee Stain Group will consist of 250 passionate game developers and publishers focused on community-driven experiences. They will contain Coffee Stain, Ghost Ship, and Tuxedo Labs. as well as certain studios from Amplify Game Invest. They own games like Deep Rock Galactic, Goat Simulator, Satisfactory, Teardown, Valheim, and Welcome to Bloxburg. And then Fellowship Entertainment is approximately 6,000 people across 30 countries. They own the rights to The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, hence the name. And they own intellectual properties like Kingdom Come Deliverance, Metro, Dead Island, Killing Floor, Darksiders Remnant, Tomb Raider, among 300 other IPs.
They've had some big hits lately. Not enough. Kind of like Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadow game did great, but if you're just bleeding money everywhere else, it doesn't really stem the tide.
I really struggled to get that last sentence out because I was going to sneeze the entire time. So I was like, don't sneeze. It was painful. It was bad.
So that's why you got to have a beep button, or you just have the... Well, at any time, you can just turn your microphone off. It's nice.
Yeah, but what if it was like a really gross sneeze and I was like sneezing on camera? It's not the one.
Just go like...
But yeah, there you go. That's some news. And that's pretty much all the news, actually. We've kind of got through everything, more or less. Last piece of information from me today, because I'm excited for this one. Starting today in, I think, about 1 hour and 3 minutes, the Splitgate 2 open beta begins. It's staying open until launch.
Wow.
Which I think is
that's neat.
Next month or later this month. And I'm going to be playing because I think I'm going to do a little review for this one. So I'm going to be putting out the bat signal to all of my ex-Halo try-hard sweaty buddies. And we're going to get some Splitgate 2 in and see how sweaty we can get. So hopefully, we'll see how it plays. I really enjoyed playing the alpha.
Yep.
So I'm keen to see the changes that they've made and everything else. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll do a stream. I don't know. We'll find out. Until then, friends, thank you for joining us for this episode of Xbox Era Headlines. If you've enjoyed this succinct 1 hour breakdown of no-nonsense news, please do consider hitting the like button, hit subscribe, dropping a review on our podcast services like Headlines, like the Xbox Era podcast. And if you're a purchaser of Console Wars, the card game, leave a review for that. In fact, just be awesome. And if you really love everything we do, head to patreon.com/Xbox Era, where you can support us directly, which is always the best way to do so. We will be back on Saturday. Yes, I will be there this time for the Xbox Era podcast. Myself, Jesse, and Nick talking through everything and hearing Nick's crazy takes on stuff. Next week, though, a little bit different. I will not be around for Thursday's headlines
Ursula
or
will
Saturday's podcast because I will be running the UK Gamer Expo booth for Console Wars, the card game, as we put the game on sale and in front of the public to the masses at UK Games Expo.
If you're in the UK, go there. You can buy a copy if you want. Please,
come and visit.
We need things to be bought.
If you're heading there at the UK Games Expo, do not be shy. Come up and tell me who you are and say hello. If you shout sick, I'll turn around and I'll know that you're one of us. You know what I mean? But yeah, come and play a few games. We'll be demoing the game live on the show floor. We've got about 3 or 4 tables, and we'll be selling copies out the wazoo, hopefully.
And YouTube crashed. What a shock.
Well, lovely. But until then, friends, be good to each other. Play some more video games and try and just enjoy life because we've only got one. That's short. Ciao for now.
Goodbye.
Ain't got endless on my walls, but I sure know making calls from the stalls in the bars on a Friday night. And the other boys may need a map, but I can close my eyes and have you wrapped around my fingers like that. So baby, when you need the job done, you can call me baby. Cause you ain't gotta tell me, it's just in my nature. So take it like a taker, cause baby, I'm a giver. Ain't no need to hurry, cause baby, I deliver. Ain't no country boy quitter, I get the job done. I get the job done. monster truck, revving loud to pick you up, 'cause our look is hard touch. And in this strip mall town of dreams, good luck finding a man who has the means to rhinestone cowgirl all night long. So baby, if you never had one, call me baby, yeah. 'Cause you ain't gotta tell me, it's just in my nature. So take it like a taker, 'cause baby, I'm a giver. Ain't no need to hurry, 'cause baby, I deliver. Ain't no country boy quitter, I get the job done. I get the job done. Na 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 na. She gets the job done. Na 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 na. She gets the job done. Na 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 na. 'Cause you ain't gotta tell me, it's just in my nature. So take it like a taker, 'cause baby, I'm a giver. Ain't no need to hurry, 'cause baby, I deliver. Ain't no country boy quitter, I get the job done. 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 Yes ma'am, yes I do. You're welcome. You're welcome. 'Cause you ain't got